So hello students, once again welcome. Today we will discuss about the poultry nutrition, which are the feed ingredients and above the mammals, or we can say livestock nutrition. Feed additives are very important for the poultry. So we will discuss some of the feed additives and then we will learn about the nutrient requirement for both type of chicken, either they are layer type or broiler type. So first of all, what is nutrition? We have already learned in our previous course also. So nutrition is a process by which food is transmitted into the nutrients which are transported to the cell of the body. So whether it is mammals, humans or birds, we all need nutrients, such as there are 6 principal nutrients are there: carbohydrate, protein, vitamin, mineral, fat and water. So these are present in the food. So by our digestive system, these food are digested and the nutrients are released and they are absorbed, and via blood it is transported to the cell of the body. So it is called as nutrition. So now let's learn some of the principles of poultry feeding. So we all know that in the livestock farm as well as in the poultry farm also, overall cost having 60 to 65% will be the feed cost. So whatever the total cost are there to run a farm, 60 to 65% consist of only the feed itself. So it is an in interest of each poultry farmer that they get much chicken meat and egg on every rupee they spend on the food of the birds. The problem in poultry feeding nowadays because of farm condition are such as increased cost of raw feed ingredients, confinement of birds, inclusion of agro-industry byproduct, increased flock size and high density. So while computing a ration for poultry, what is ration? Ration, it is a feed given to bird in 24 hours. It must be balanced. So following point must be considered while computing a ration. First of all, we all know that the birds, they don't have teeth. So ration must be grinded, concentrate as well as in powder form. The digestive system is very simple and short. It is simple digestive system in birds. So digestion is quite rapid. It takes only 2.5 hours for food to grow from mouth to cloaca in laying hens, while 10 hours in non-laying hens. It means whenever the bird is in laying stage, whatever the food it ingest, only in 2.5 hours the food will be digested and remaining undigested food will be voided. While in case of non-laying hens, means the hens which are in, we can say, pause, they will take 10 hours for feed to digest. So the nutrient requirement of the bird must be fulfilled because of the rapid digestion of the food. Poultry completely depends upon the dietary source of some nutrients such as all essential amino acid, vitamin B complex, etc. So what is this essential amino acid? Suppose protein is made up of amino acid or amino acid. So out of this amino acid, some can be produced inside the body, but others cannot be produced inside the body, but they are very necessary. So they must be present into the food itself. So this is the reason they are called as essential amino acid. So essential amino acid कैसे कहते हैं कि जो प्रोटीन है वो एमाइनो एसिड से बना हुआ होता है. उसमें से टोटली 16 एमाइनो एसिड होते हैं. उसमें से जितने भी एमाइनो एसिड बॉडी में बन नहीं सकते उसको हमें फूड के द्वारा ही लेना पड़ता है. सो दे आर कॉल्ड एज essential amino acid. So birds are not fed individually also. In case of, we can say, livestock, cattle or buffalo farm, individual feeding can be practiced, but in case of bird it is not possible. And due to the high rate of metabolism, poultry require more exact ration. It means whatever the nutrient required is there for a bird must be fulfilled because of the rapid metabolism. So now we will discuss some of the nutrients which are required. We have already told that there are main 6 principal nutrients are there: water, carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin and mineral. So what is the role of these nutrients in the bird, we will learn. First of all, we will discuss about the water. So we all know that water is very essential for life. You can survive without food for many days, but without water you cannot survive longer. So water is essential for metabolic activities, transport of other nutrients and elimination of waste material. Water makes 85% of day-old chick and 55% in mature chicken at 42 weeks of age. It means whenever the chick is born on first day, out of its total body weight, 85% is water. And in case of mature chicken, when it gets mature about 42 weeks, water will consist 55% of the body weight. Water content of egg, it is 65%. This question can be asked in exam also. So water content of the egg is 65. Ordinary chicken consume 2 to 2.5 gram of water each gram of feed they consume during the chick and grower stage, while in case of laying stage it will consume 1.5 to 5 grams of water each gram of feed they will take. So how much amount of water taken by the bird, it will depend on the feed it is consuming. So generally whatever the feed it consumes, it will require 2 to 5 times more water for consumption. A good poultry ration does not contain water or we can say moisture more than 10%. Why is there? Because if the moisture percent is higher, then there may be chances of fungus growth or mold growth inside the feed and it will harm the bird. So always the poultry feed will have moisture percent less than 10%. Moisture is water. Clean water must be supplied throughout the day to the. Now let's discuss about the proteins. Poultry product, they are high content of protein. We all know that as compared to agriculture crops or agriculture product, generally the animal products contain high amount of protein, especially the poultry meat and egg. On dry basis, the carcass of 8-week-old broiler contains more than 65% protein and egg about 50% protein. What is dry basis? We have already learned that dry basis means from any type of feed, whenever you will remove the water by putting it in 100 degrees centigrade, the remaining portion, it is called as dry matter or without any type of water. So in this case 8-week-old broiler dry carcass contains 65% and egg 50% protein. Generally broiler ration contain 10 to 25% crude protein and layer ration about 16 to 70% crude protein in the ration. Amino acids that make the protein are more essential rather than the protein. As I said, the protein, they are made up of amino acids. Generally 16 are there. So in chicken, out of this 16, the 12 are essential. Why? Because they cannot be synthesized in body and must be there in feed. So these essential amino acids are such as lysine, methionine, arginine, glycerin, tryptophan are referred as critical amino acids because they are usually deficient in ordinary protein ration. So we have seen that there are 12 essential amino acids for chicken. Out of these 5, lysine, methionine, arginine, glycine and tryptophan, they are very less in normal poultry ration. So they are considered as critical amino acids. This is because cereal grains which are low in this critical amino acid content make larger part of poultry feed. Generally in poultry ration 60 to 70% will be the cereal grains. So cereal grains are very less in the quantity of critical amino acid. So the ration made up of these cereal grains also will have less amount of critical amino acid. So this is thus must to include a good proportion of animal protein. So we have learned that the cereal grains are lacking in critical amino acid. So how we can fulfill this? This can be fulfilled by addition of any animal origin protein content in the poultry ration. Best example is fish meal. Then carbohydrate. Main function of it is to provide energy. The polysaccharide of main importance are starch, cellulose, pentose and several others. Cellulose is generally indigestible due to simple stomach. We have already learned that in cattle, buffalo, sheep and goat, they have compound stomach, so they can easily digest cellulose by bacterial fermentation. But in case of poultry, they have simple stomach, so cellulose cannot be digested. Cereal grains and their byproducts are rich in starch and make large part of the ration. Then fat. Fat makes 40% of the dry egg and 70% of the dry carcass. Although fat provide high energy, 2 to 2.25 times more energy than carbohydrate and protein, but due to high cost and rancidity of true fat and oils, so they are less included in the ration. So we all know that fat have more energy as compared to carbohydrate and protein, but there are more chances that rancidity may occur. Rancidity means simply we can say the spoilage of the fat, or we can say oil. So this is the reason why they are very less included into the poultry ration. Most feed ingredient contains about 2 to 5% of fat, and it is enough for inclusion of essential fatty acid, linoleic acid. So again, same as the essential amino acid, essential fatty acid is linoleic acid. Why? Because they cannot be synthesized in the body. So essential fatty acid, linoleic acid, it is for proper growth in growing chicks. Laying hens with diet deficient in linoleic acid will lay smaller eggs which do not hatch well. So in case of fat is mainly the fatty acid. So main important fatty acid is linoleic acid. Now talk about the minerals. The body of chicken contains 4% minerals and the eggs excluding cell contain 1%. Why excluding cell? Because cell itself contain more amount of calcium, or we can say mineral. Elements required for poultry are calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, manganese, chlorine, iodine, copper and zinc, etc. So usually grain and vegetable protein ingredients are very low in mineral content as compared to animal origin product. The common mineral supplement used in poultry feed that are limestone, bone meal, oyster shell, sodium chloride, DCP or dicalcium phosphate and superphosphate. These are included in the poultry ration for supplying the minerals. Then vitamins. Main function of these vitamins are act as a coenzyme and regulation of the metabolism. Total 13 vitamins required by the poultry, that are vitamin A, D, E, K, B1, B2, B6, B12, pantothenic acid, nicotinic acid, folic acid, biotin and choline. Apart from natural sources, commercial vitamin mixture is also added in ration. So generally, in case of cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat ration, you cannot find that vitamin mixture is added, but in case of poultry ration, it is very compulsory. So in poultry ration or at the time of formulation of the poultry ration, the vitamin mixture as well as the mineral mixture is added. Diet deficient in any one vitamin for longer time have different adverse effect on bird itself, egg as well as the meat production. And last one is feed additives. Generally the feed additives are less important in case of livestock ration, but in case of poultry ration they are very important and they must be included in the ration. So what are the feed additives? There are two words, feed supplement and feed additives. So feed supplement means the supplement which supply the nutrient directly, such as vitamin mixture or mineral mixture. They will supply directly the vitamin and minerals. So they are called as feed supplement. But what is feed additives? So feed additives are group of ingredients which do not supply any nutrient directly but help the bird or product by indirect ways. So they are called as feed additive. It means, suppose for best example is antibiotic. So antibiotic do not supply any nutrient, any protein, carbohydrate, vitamin, etc. But it will kill the harmful pathogen of the body and our health will recover. So it means they do not supply any direct nutrients, but they will benefit our health by different indirect way. So they are called as feed additives. For best examples are antioxidants, flavoring agent, pellet binder, enzymes, probiotic, antibiotic, hormones, anticoccidial drugs. So now let's discuss in detail about the feed additives. So there are different types of feed additives are there which are included in poultry ration. So first we will see the feed additives that promote the feed intake, or we can say selection. First best example is antioxidant. So feed with high fat content are prone to rancidity and produce the oxidant. So the fat, generally there will be rancidity if they are continuously exposed to the environment, or we can say air. So they will produce the radicals, free radicals. These free radicals will kill the body cells. So they are very dangerous. So because of this, there must be included some of the antioxidant in the poultry ration. Why? Because this antioxidant protect the fat of the feed from rancidity. So there will be not production of any type of oxidants, or we can say radicals, and the bird will be protected. Antioxidants are compounds which prevent oxidative rancidity of fat. Rancidity causes destruction of vitamins A, D, E, K and some B complex, and decrease protein, energy and feed content of the feed. So commonly used antioxidants are BHT, ethoxyzin, BHA, DP, PD. They are added at 0.01% ration of total ration. Second one is flavoring agent. So we all know that we also in human food also we like flavors. Flavor, if there is flavor in the food, we will take more food. So same is applicable to the birds also. So flavoring agent increase palatability and feed intake. These are added at the time of addition of medicine in the feed, or attack of the disease, or during stress. Why? Because if the medicine is added or at any disease or stress condition such as very hot or very cold climate, the birds will be decreased their feed intake, or there will be decrease in the feed intake of the bird. So to increase the feed intake, we will add the flavoring agent. Most common used flavoring agent is poultry nectar, which is added at 0.05% level. Next one is pellet binder. So they are essential to bind all ingredients of pellet. So we all know that in the pellet there will be raw materials, but there must be any one agent we will bind all these feed ingredients together. So it is called as pellet binder. Best example are sodium bentonite, molasses, guar meal, etc. So they are added at 0.5% level. Another class of feed additives are the additives that enhance the color of product. So generally the people who consume the egg and meat, they will prefer the color also in egg and meat. So many consumers have misunderstanding that broiler having deep yellow color shank are top quality. In egg also deep yellow color yolk is considered highly desirable, but it is generally scientific way it is not important what is the color, because the composition will be same. So xanthophylls are routinely incorporated into broiler feed. So because of this there will be yellow coloration of their shank. Then canthaxanthin at rate of 2 to 10 grams per ton of the feed, they are added to produce orange yellow color in shank and skin of broiler and in the egg of the layers. So another class of the feed additives are additives that facilitate digestion and absorption. It means it will enhance the digestion of feed and it will enhance the absorption of feed nutrients by the bird. First one is grit. Now we all know that in the bird there is less of teeth. So the grinding of the feed, it takes place in the gizzard by the help of stones that the bird consumes. But along with the poultry ration, the farmers also give grit, which is supplied in the feed to enhance the grinding inside the gizzard. Generally used grits are oyster shell and limestone. Gravel and pebble have been used as long lasting source of grit. So generally this do not give any type of nutrient, but it will enhance the grinding. Another one is chelates. So chelating agents such as EDTA are added to increase the availability and absorption of certain minerals. In chicks, zinc absorption is enhanced by EDTA. So generally this chelating agent, it will break down the complex bond between the minerals, so that the mineral will be freed and it can be absorbed very easily. So another feed additives that facilitate digestion and absorption, it is enzymes. So enzymes are generally complex protein which act as catalyst of different compound. It means they are protein itself, but they will break down the complex nutrient into simpler one. Generally enzymes are produced by digestive tract is sufficient, but when there is high amount of barley, oat, wheat, rice bran or sunflower in the feed, then enzyme must be added. Generally in barley and wheat there is high amount of beta glucans are there, which will interfere with other digestive enzymes. Small concentration of this beta glucans such as 0.75 to 1% can have adverse effect. There is one enzyme, it is called as beta glucanase. It is called as beta glucanase. So if beta glucanase are added in the feed, then it will eliminate the effect of beta glucan, so that the digestibility will increase. So same as the cellulase of enzyme additives act on the cellulose which is present in cereal, and its byproduct and improve availability of nutrient from this. So we all know that cellulose, for digestion of cellulose, the cellulase enzyme is very important. In case of livestock, cattle, buffalo, the enzyme is produced by the bacteria which is present in their mainly rumen. But in case of birds, there are not such type of bacteria are there. So cellulase must be given in the feed itself. Commonly used enzyme preparations are agrozyme, diazyme, porzyme and avyzyme. So it will include some of the important enzymes. Another, and we can say the most important feed additive, it is probiotic. Now what is probiotic? Pro means which helps the life. There are two words, antibiotic and probiotic. Antibiotic means which will kill the life, while probiotic means which will support the life. So it is one of the most important feed additives which is used in poultry feed. Probiotics are generally culture of bacteria. Most beneficial bacteria are Lactobacillus and Streptococcus. Finding of this beneficial bacteria will increase their own population and population of other beneficial bacteria, and it will reduce the population of harmful bacteria such as Escherichia coli inside the digestive tract, and then thus save birds from their toxins. So generally in the digestive tract there will be two types of bacteria. One are beneficial, other are harmful such as Escherichia coli. So these probiotic, generally they are also one type of bacteria such as Lactobacillus and Streptococcus. So they will increase the growth of beneficial bacteria, and that will decrease the growth of harmful bacteria, and it will protect the bird. Next will antibiotic. So these are the substances which kill harmful pathogens. So we all know that what is antibiotic. Whenever we have fever, we will take antibiotic drugs, paracetamol, etc. So antibiotic means that will kill the harmful pathogens. They are produced by living organisms such as mold, bacteria, green plant, etc. It is observed that chicken fed with vegetable protein gain more weight when antibiotics are added 5 to 10 milligrams in the feed. The mode of action are of these antibiotics are: they will kill the harmful pathogens, they will increase the feed and water intake, they will inhibit growth of organisms such as Escherichia coli or other harmful bacteria which produce toxin. It also improves the digestion and absorption, etc. Normal level of inclusion of these antibiotics are 4 grams per ton for feed for narrow spectrum such as penicillin and streptomycin, and for broad spectrum antibiotics such as tetramycin and oromycin they are added 10 grams per ton. So what is this narrow spectrum and broad spectrum? Narrow spectrum means it will kill only some bacteria, while broad spectrum antibiotics means it will kill large amount or large species of bacteria, or we can say many species of bacteria. So it is called as broad spectrum. Also the effect of this broad spectrum antibiotic, it will remain for the longer time. So generally in the poultry feed we are using this broad spectrum antibiotics. Then another classes of feed additives are additives that alter the metabolism. First one is hormones. So hormones are, we all know that they are the chemicals released by certain body parts and they are transported to other parts for specific physiological response. So hormones are added in feed to alter metabolism, result in increased egg and meat production. There are different categories of hormones that are available for poultry, such as first one, anabolic compound such as progesterone and other steroid which will increase the protein metabolism. Anabolic means they will break down the complex form into the simple form. So progesterone and other steroid increase the protein metabolism by their breakdown. Then estrogens such as diethyl stilbestrol was injected in subcutaneous tissue of broiler to increase the carcass tenderness. However, since the hormone residues are found in egg and meat, use of it is prohibited. Generally, this DES was used to increase the tenderness of the meat or palatability of the meat, but their residues are generally found in the egg and meat and they will be harmful to the human. So generally nowadays use of this hormone, it is prohibited. Dienstrol diacetate is only hormone permitted to be added in the feed at level of 0.0023 to 0.0035% of feed for last 4 to 10 weeks only. So you can easily imagine that they are included in very less or minute quantity, and also they are given only the birds are, we can say, added. So inclusion of hormone, it must be very careful. It must be discontinued 48 hours before the slaughter. It must not be fed to layers and breeders. So if you are giving the hormones to the birds before slaughter, 48 hours before the slaughter, there must be not given any type of hormones. Why? Because if you continuously give hormones and directly slaughter the bird, so the hormone residue will also present in the meat and egg, and it will affect the health of the humans. Another are thyroxine and related compounds. It stimulates growth and egg production during the later part of laying. They are given in form of iodinated casein at level of 100 to 200 grams per ton of feed, or we can say 110 to 220 milligram per kilogram. A slight excess in dose include molting and reduce the egg production. So it may be very carefully included. Then last category, it is the additives that alter the health. It means the additives which will increase the healthiness of the bird. First one is antifungal additives. So antifungal means that will kill the harmful fungus. It adversely affects the feed intake and subsequent proportion. Once contaminated by fungi, they cause problems by production of toxin, chemical alteration of feed and alteration of metabolism. So generally, whenever there are high moisture content in the feed, there will be production of fungus. This fungus will produce harmful toxin and that will affect the bird. Production of aflatoxin, which is produced by Aspergillus fungus, is carcinogenic. Generally, this is the most harmful fungus. We can say it is Aspergillus. The toxin produced by this Aspergillus is called as aflatoxin, and they are carcinogenic. Carcinogenic means they will produce the cancerous tumors. Best method for controlling the fungi is to dry feed at lower than 12%. So as I said, if the moisture percent is 10% or low, then there will be less chances of fungus growth. Mold inhibitors can be added in high moisture feed. Mold inhibitor means they will inhibit or prevent the growth of fungus. Best examples are sodium propionate, sodium benzonate, acetic acid or copper sulfate. They are added in the feed to prevent the growth of fungus, or we can say mold. Toxicity of aflatoxin contaminated feed can be reduced by irradiation of feed by using ultraviolet light or export to anhydrous ammonia. So these are the two both way. Whenever in the feed you will find aflatoxin, it can be eliminated by just irradiation by using UV light or exposure of the feed to the anhydrous. Then anticoccidial drug, they are also called as coccidiostat. These are the drug which protects the birds against coccidiosis caused by a protozoa known as coccidia. So coccidiosis is the most dangerous disease we can say in the birds or commercial birds. It is produced by a protozoa called as coccidia. They generally live in the cells of intestinal lining of livestock. 8 species of coccidian, they will affect the chicken, such as Aimera tenella, Aimera nectris, Maxima, etc. Commonly used coccidiostats are Embazine, Zonemix, Furazolidone and Amprol at 25%. Then enthelmatic drugs. So enthelmatic drugs means these are the drugs which will kill harmful parasite, whether it is internal or external parasite. We all know that internal parasite means the parasite which are present inside the body, while external parasite means these are the parasite which are present on the skin of the body. So they can be eliminated by using the drug which are called as enthelmintic drugs. For most common internal parasite of the birds are Ascaris, Heterex, Capillaris and Taenia. Enthelmintic required more than one dose to be given to the birds. First dose will kill those worms which are present inside the body, and the subsequent deworming kills those newborn worms from the eggs. So generally inside the body there will be adult parasite as well as their eggs. So whenever you will give the first dose, it will kill only the adult or living parasite. So after some days from the eggs, the parasite will born. So to kill this newborn parasite, another dose must be given. So in this picture, you can see the commonly used feed ingredients which are used for poultry ration. So for energy feed, generally cereals which are used are yellow maize, oat, bajra, ragi, vegetable oats, barley, molasses, rice, wheat, etc. So for protein supplement, we are using groundnut cake, cottonseed cake, soybean meal and bursim meal from vegetable origin, while from animal origin product we are using mainly fish meal, blood meal and meat meal. Then for vitamin and mineral supplement, we are using bone meal, oyster shell grit, limestone, vitamin mixture, mineral mixture, salt and manganese sulfate. While for feed additives, we are using different probiotics, coccidiostats, enzymes, antimicrobial drugs, enthelmintic drugs, and different enzymes. So these are the commonly used feed ingredients for poultry ration: yellow maize, oat, rice, molasses, barley, ragi. Then protein feed: groundnut cake, cottonseed cake, soybean meal, fish meal, meat meal, blood. Then vitamin and mineral supplement. Here you can see the bone meal, oyster shell, limestone, commercially available vitamin and mineral. Then feed additives, probiotic, coccidios, etc. So now we will learn about the nutrient requirement of chicken. So in last course we have already learned the feeding standard. So feeding standard are the standard or table by which we can consider the amount of different nutrients such as carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, mineral which are needed by an animal throughout the day. So same tables are available in poultry ration also. So nutrient requirement differs depending on the type and age of poultry as well as the purpose for which they are fed. So generally in case of layer bird they will require different nutrient as per growing chick or laying stage, while in case of broiler also they will require different nutrients or nutrient requirement will be different according to their starter or finisher phase. In India, poultry requirement has been calculated by the Bureau of Indian Standard, New Delhi. But many farmers or feed manufacturers still use the requirement given by NRC, which is the USA based Nutritional Research Society. NRC, full form of NRC is National Research Council. So first we will learn about the nutrition requirement of layers. So generally here in the chart you can see there are mainly 3 stages in case of layer: starting stage, growing stage, or also called as pullet, and laying stage. And there will be breeding hens also which will be used for production of fertile eggs. So generally in all, whether it is BIS or NRC standard, moisture percent will be same, it is only 11%, while metabolized energy which is calculated at kilocalorie per kilogram, it will be different. For starting chicks it will be 2700, while according to NRC it is 2900. For growing pullets it is 2600 and 2900. For laying hens it is 2700 and 2850 kilocalorie. While for breeding hens the requirement according to BSI it is 2700, while for NRC it is 2850. So what is this metabolized energy? For best example, suppose we have given a feed to the animal in which there was 100 kilocalorie energy. Out of this 100 kilocalorie, 20 kilocalorie which is wasted for dung production and 10 kilocalorie is wasted for urine production. So total 30, 20 plus 10, it means 30. So out of this 100 kilocalorie, 30 kilocalorie that is wasted for dung and urine production. So remained is 70. So this 70 kilocalorie which is used by the body of animal, it is called as metabolized energy. So metabolized energy, it is a proportion of total energy of feed which is used which is actually used by the body of animal after excluding the dung and urinary energy. Then another important nutrient, it is crude protein. Generally in case of starting chick it will be 22% and 18% according to BSI and NRC respectively. For growing pullets they will require less amount of protein, so it will be 16% and 15% only. While in case of laying they will require 18 to 15%, and breeding hens also it is same. Then crude fiber. Crude fiber, we all know that crude fiber means it is a combination of cellulose, hemicellulose and lignin. So generally in case of starting chick only BSI, Bureau of Indian Standard, have only given the requirement of crude fiber, while NRC do not suggest for the crude fiber content. So for crude fiber it is 7%, 8%, 8% and 8% in respective to chick, pullet, laying hens and breeding hens. S% means the mineral content. The mineral content must be 4% in all. Then calcium. Generally calcium it is gram per kilogram of feed. In starting it is 10, 9, then in growing pullets it is 10 and 6. In laying hens it is 7.5 and 2, while in breeding hens the calcium requirement is higher for production of egg, fertile egg. So it is 75 suggested by both BSI and NRC. Then available phosphorus gram per kilogram it must be 5. Lysine and methionine, these are the most important two amino acid or essential amino acid. So their inclusion rate also is given in the table. Then most important vitamins are vitamin A and vitamin D. So generally all the nutrients are given according to gram per kilogram, but in case of vitamins they are given as IU. IU means international unit. So they are given as international unit per kilogram. So generally requirement of vitamin A is higher as compared to vitamin D. So same as the broiler, there is ration is also given for the layers. So broilers are generally reared in two phases. One is starter phase starting from 0 to 3 weeks and finisher phase 4 to 6 weeks. But some farmers follow the three phases. First one is pre-starter, then starter and then finisher. So same as the layer in the broiler also, the feeding standard are available, BSI and NRC standard. So here there will be three categories: starting, finisher and breeding broiler. Moisture percent again will be same, it is 11%. While metabolized energy will be more as compared to layer ration. It will be around 2900 to 3200 kilocalorie. Protein content also will be somewhat higher. It will be 20 to 23%. In case of finisher 19 to 20%, and in case of breeding broiler it is 15%. Again crude fiber will be almost same as layer, it is 6 to 7%. Total S or mineral content is also similar, 4%. Calcium it is again 9 to 10% in starter and finisher, while in case of broiler, breeding broiler it is 27. Available phosphorus again same, it is 5. Then lysine and methionine, lysine 9 to 12 gram per kilogram in case of broiler ration, while methionine must be 3.5 to 5 grams in the ration of broilers. Vitamin A and D again it will be somewhat same in case of layers. And here are the common feed ingredient with its maximum inclusion level. Maximum inclusion level means it is the highest percentage you can include the ration. Suppose maize, highest inclusion level is 60%, 60. It means in the poultry ration, if you preparing poultry ration of 100 kilogram, so maize can be maximally added 60 kilogram, not more than 60 kilogram. So it is called as maximum inclusion level. So molasses 0 to 5%, rice bran 10 to 20, GNC means groundnut cake, de-oiled groundnut cake, maximally we can include 20%, soybean meal 40%, then GNC common, oiled GNC, oiled groundnut cake, one is de-oiled groundnut cake, one is oiled groundnut cake. So oiled groundnut cake maximum level is 40%, etc. So you can see all the ingredients with its maximum inclusion level. So friends, here are some questions related to this topic for your self evaluation. It will be helpful for your examination also. So write down the answers of this question and submit back within 2 days. So thank you all, and if you have any query related to this topic, you can ask at any time. So thank you.